Belinda Sneddon, and I'm a managing director with the U.S. Family Enterprise Practice. I'm joined by Jonathan Flack, the U.S. Family Enterprise and Business Leader, to talk through some of the highlights from the U.S. findings of the 10th Annual Family Business Survey. The goal of this survey is to get an understanding of what family businesses are thinking on the key issues of the day, and to dig into addressing challenges and opportunities in ways that are unique to family businesses. We surveyed 2,800 respondents in the fall of 2020 in 87 countries with nearly 250 respondents in North America. Let's dive into the findings. John, big picture, what is the outlook for U.S. family businesses for 2021 and 2022?
Yeah, thanks, Belinda. Overall, 82% of family businesses expect to see growth in 2021. That's also growing to 96% in 2022. So that's a pretty positive outlook by most family businesses. And if you compare that to the year before COVID, only 63% of the businesses we surveyed actually experienced growth, with actually 11% seeing a reduction in sales. And again, that's the period just before COVID. And this compares to just 64% of growth and a 7% reduction in sales when we asked that same question back in 2018. So the optimism as we look out into 2021 and 22 is very, very positive for family businesses.
That's great news. What are some of the key priorities facing U.S. family businesses over the next 2 years?
Some of the key issues, we really focused on kind of a top 5 for key issues facing family businesses. 57% said that their number one focus was on entering new markets and new client segments. And that has been a consistent number one focus for family businesses as we've done the survey over the last few cycles. The next item was 50% of family businesses noted that new products and services was their number one priority, followed by pursuing acquisitions and mergers, increasing the use of new technologies, and rethinking and changing and adapting their business model, which was a higher ranked item that we've had in the past. And we'll talk a little bit more about how family businesses are thinking about changing their business model and rethinking their talent and other changes within their business in the future.
There certainly seems to be a theme around expansion and diversification. Can you tell us what you've heard from the U.S. respondents?
That's right. 87% of U.S. family businesses say expansion and diversification is their top priority for the next 2 years. And further evidence that we had within the survey questions indicate that one of their key success factors in the future is going to be further diversification. U.S. family businesses are very focused on diversifying their family holdings in addition to their business, with 54% of their focus in their family business today. They expect that to go down to only 44% of their overall family concentration being in the family business itself. That's a pretty significant shift, and that's also a statistical shift that we've seen in the data as compared to prior cycles.
ESG is a hot topic on a number of fronts, and certainly on the minds of most companies. But what did the findings show as it relates to U.S. family businesses in particular?
So the vast majority of U.S. family businesses are engaged in some form of social responsible activities. So U.S. family businesses noted that 74% of them were involved in socially responsible activities, and that's dramatically higher than the global statistic, which was only 42% of family businesses globally were engaged in social responsibility. So that's a pretty significant difference as compared to the global peers. The one area of focus that we seem to see for family businesses is actually having a strategy around their ESG activities and their community activities. A lot of family businesses for many years have been involved in community-related activities, but when we surveyed whether they actually had a developed and communicated strategy around their ESG priorities, only 17% of U.S. family businesses said that they did have a developed and a communicated strategy. Many family businesses are saying that in the future they're going to continue to enhance what they do in this space, and we think one of the important things for family businesses to consider changing going forward is actually getting that strategy put together and communicated.
Thanks for sharing the highlights from the 2021 Family Business Survey. Any final thoughts, John?
So we always suggest when we go through this survey process, we always see where family businesses have a need to think about their legacy long term and to put some of those plans and those strategies in place. That's no different this time. We're coming out of a very challenging economy. Some family businesses did well because of the business they're in. Some businesses had a lot of challenges. But the need for planning their strategy long term is really critical. We think some of the key pieces for family businesses to include in that strategy will include digitalization of both how they do business with their clients as well as how they do business within their business. And then further diversification of both the business and the family holdings, upskilling and talent growth within their employee base, and continuing to focus on those long-term strategic planning items like ESG and family continuity plans. We think these are really the key pieces that make for long-term successful family businesses.
Great. Thank you, John. And thank you to the audience for listening in.